Hey guys, so last section you guys learned how to solve two-step equations. This section, before you solve them, you're going to have to write them. So some real-world situations can be modeled by two-step equations. So for instance, this one, a caterer is preparing a dinner for a party. She charges an initial fee of $16 and $8.25 per person. How many people can attend a dinner that costs $131.50? So let's look at the equation we can use to write or to model this problem. First of all, in words, it's the initial fee plus $8.25 per person. So our variable, our unknown, is how many people can we invite. So we can use P for the number of people and then translate this into an equation, which we'll then have to solve using our two steps. Subtract 16, divide by 8.25. So let's look at a few examples of this, and this is on page 300. So 299 was this what we just looked at. But if you go to page 300, we're going to look at just two examples in this section of writing equations, because we've already done the solving part. So let's write a couple equations. Toya had her birthday party at the movies. It costs $27 for pizza and $8.50 per friend for the movie tickets. How many friends did she have at her party if she spent $78? So let's look at this first of all. In words here, we have the cost of pizza plus the cost per friend times the number of friends equals $78. Our variable is the number of friends, so we can use n for number of friends. You could use x, it really doesn't matter, whatever variable you like to use. Typically not like 0, that would not be a good one to use. Or I mean O, because it gets confused with a 0. Okay. Now, one way you can model this is with a bar diagram. We haven't really looked at bar diagrams, but it's pizza plus tickets. Pizza's $27, tickets is $8.50 a person, and we spent $78 altogether. So our equation could look like this: 27 plus $8.50 equals 78. $27 for pizza plus $8.50 a person, and $78 spent altogether. So now that you have the equation, then you solve the equation. So the writing is probably the harder part because you have to figure out from the word problem what the equation is, but now it's just a two-step problem like we did in class the other day. So what's our first step? Think about it. Is this what you thought? Hopefully it is. And if you subtract 27 from both sides, again, you can fill this in on page, or actually this is already filled in for you, so you can just follow along. So 850n equals 51, and then what's the next step? Is this what you said? Divide by 850. If so, give yourself a pat on the back or a high five. And we divide both sides by 850, so n is equal to 51 divided by 850, which is 6. Again, you can use your calculators to do this part for you. So she had 6 friends at the party. Alright, let's look at another example. We'll just do the writing the equation part. This one's not in your book. You can just follow along and see if you can figure out what this equation is going to be. So Cameron wants to download some movies that cost $14.50, that each cost $14.50, and an ebook that costs $22.50. He has $66. So let's look at these choices here. Which equation do you think makes the most sense? $14.50 per movie and an ebook for $22.50. And he has $66. So these all equal 66. Which one would model movies for $14.50 each plus one ebook? That would be this one. $14.50 times each movie plus the cost of an ebook equals $66. Okay, and we are correct here. Now we would solve this. We'll subtract 22.5 from both sides. So if we go through the steps here, we would subtract 22.5. This is not writing very well for me. 22.5. So 14, oh my goodness, 0.5 equals 43.50. and then divide both sides by 14.5. Oh my goodness. There we go. It's just slow. Okay, so 4350 divided by 14.5 is equal to 3, which means how many movies were they able to watch? 3 movies. Not 1, 3. Not B. The stylus hates me. Okay, anyway, you heard me. 3 is the correct answer. Not 31. Oh my goodness. 3 movies. Alright, let's look at another example. This is on page, actually, why don't you guys try the check problem at the top of page 301 first. So do that, pause it. Did you pause? Do the pause. And now that you're unpaused, let's look at this here. So, look at, here we can watch this. See that? It's going down. So Diego's aquarium contains 30 and a half gallons of water. He drains the water at a rate of 5 gallons per minute for cleaning. Write and solve an equation to determine in how many minutes the amount of water will reach 10 and a half gallons. So, he has 30 and a half gallons. He's going to subtract 5 gallons per minute, or remove 5 gallons per minute, and that equals 10 and a half gallons. So let M represent the number of minutes here. And then we're going to have, he starts out with 30 and a half gallons. He subtracts, or drains out 5 gallons a minute, and we want to know when he reaches 10 and a half gallons. So this is the equation we're going to solve here. Again, we have fractions, but we solve it the same way. So our first step is to get our variable by itself. And the way we do that, we'll leave this 5 here, but we have to get rid of this 30 and a half. So we'll subtract 30 and a half from both sides. So what's left on the left-hand side is negative 5m, the 30's cancel, equals negative 20. 10 and a half minus 30 and a half is negative 20. Then we divide both sides by negative 5, and we get m equals positive 4. So it takes 4 minutes for him to drain his tank down to 10 and a half gallons. Let's look at another example. This one also is not in your book, so you can just follow along on the screen. The current temperature is 84 degrees Fahrenheit. It's expected to drop 2.5 degrees each hour. After how many hours will the temperature be 54 degrees? Oh, you guys get a visitor in this video. Look at, okay. You want to be in the video? Oh my goodness, this is Harley. She wants to be in the video. Ugh. She doesn't like that I'm paying attention to my computer and not to her. Okay, so, So it starts out at 84 degrees and then it drops 2.5 degrees each hour. So what's going to happen here? If it's starting at 84 and then we go down 2.5, can you guys see that this right here is going to be our equation for this one? Okay. And then if we want to solve this equation, oh my goodness, she's so needy. If we want to solve this equation, there's an 84 and a 2.5 on the same side as h. We're going to start by subtracting. Okay, hold on one second. I gotta pause this. Okay, her paw ended up actually pausing my screen too. So we are going to subtract 84 from both sides of this equation. And so that cancels that out, and we are left with negative 2.5h equals 54 minus 84 is negative 30. Okay. And then our next step will be divide by negative 2.5 on both sides. Divide by negative 2.5. And we get that h is equal to 12. So after 12 hours, the temperature will be 54 degrees. So you guys try the check problem on page 302. And don't forget to have your parents sign page 302 after you've taken your notes and watched this video. Alright, see you later.